Hi everyone, welcome to the Stay Hungry podcast. We've got a special guest today. Let's go. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello.
Do you want to tell us who you are?
Do I want to tell you who I am?
Yeah, I know who you are, but the listeners don't. So
all the listeners in the land. Yeah, so I'm Emily, one of the owners of Fresh Perspective Resourcing. So I own it with my sister, Laura. So we are the Leyland sisters.
Yeah.
Yes, I am a 21-year-old woman.
And you're currently taking over LinkedIn.
Yeah, I'm not 21 really. I'm more like 32 or 33, but I feel like I've forgotten my age recently.
I didn't question it, so I did well.
You didn't? You were just like, and you're taking over LinkedIn? I think I told someone else I was 21 and they were like, oh, I wish I was. I was like, I'm clearly joking, but if you think it and that other person does, I might say it more often.
I'll just stick with it, yeah. I'll stick with that now.
Okay, that's fine then. I am 21.
Super. Good, strong start to the podcast. So, what does Fresh Perspective do? And,
so we are... Oh, go on.
And why is it different? Why is it a fresh perspective?
Who are we and why are we different? Okay, so we are a recruitment business. You've lost 50% of your listeners now. So as soon as you say recruitment, run off.
Sorry, marketing can do that to people, so don't worry.
Really? Is it as bad though? I wouldn't have said it was as bad. I mean, recruiters do get...
It's like the dark arts, isn't it? Recruitment, marketing, people are like, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So we are very, very different to probably any recruitment business out there. I do believe that we are unique. So me and Laura both have an agency background. I was a terrible agency recruiter, seriously bad at it. I'm a really terrible liar. And that's what you're asked to do when you work in agencies. You lie to candidates, you lie to clients, you just lie. You lie all the time. And I'm a really, really bad liar. I'm really upfront. Can be quite blunt sometimes. I'm not upfront, but I'd much rather be like that and be honest.
Yeah.
Laura did better than me, maybe because she's better at lying. Who knows? But she, was a lot more successful as an agency recruiter. Kind of got left alone, and then we went to work together in an SAP consultancy in Manchester.
Yeah.
We worked internally, and I suppose what that taught us was how to be an internal recruitment team, how to work across sectors, how to work in different industries with different people, with different hiring managers, and still have to produce results because you can't just not answer the phone. You're working with your hiring managers, so you have to be able to deliver for them.
Yeah.
And about honest about what those people are looking for. So if someone's looking for a unicorn, to say you're looking for a unicorn and you're not going to find one, so something needs to change. You don't get any of that in the recruitment industry because you say yes to everyone in the hope that you can fill it, and if you don't, you can't. You just ignore them, and that's it. And that's why there's no consistency, there's no feedback. Yeah. So Fresh was sort of born from that, really, from wanting to do things ethically, with morals, with honesty and openness, and being upfront with people and not just being yes people, actually telling people not necessarily what they want to hear, but what they need to hear in order to get desired results. So that's kind of where it's come from. We wanted to build a really safe place for people. I mean, I don't have any memory of a job before starting my own business where I wasn't anxious about going.
Okay.
So I feel like I wouldn't, if any of my girls felt anxious on a Sunday, then I'd be like, you need to go. You need to leave this job. This isn't right for you anymore, because you get 2 days off a week. And if you spend one of those being anxious, then that is a really, really rubbish ratio.
Yeah, no, I can entirely relate to that. Pretty much why I set up my business as well. So
absolutely, it's that fear, isn't it? On a Sunday, you feel like Saturdays are all right because you've got another day to feel anxious. So you use your anxiety credits up on a Sunday, and it's that feeling of like, I've got to go to work. And that honestly makes me feel weird talking about it. It's a really, really uncomfortable feeling, and I almost go back there when I discuss it. And so we wanted to create that really fun, really happy, joyful, positive environment where people can come and flourish.
Yeah.
And I do think that's what we've created, and we've got brand ambassadors that we don't tell the girls what to put out there. Like, we obviously help them if they're struggling with content and stuff like that, but ultimately they do what they want to do. They are autonomous. They're responsible for themselves, and they put the stuff out there, and they are cheerleaders for Fresh off their own back, which is incredible. And I suppose creating that has, I think, with our sort of me and Laura being sisters and being family, we've sort of sent that down through the business. And I suppose that's how we kind of recruit as well. So we look for clients who are aligned with our values, morals, ethics.
Yeah. That's really good.
Anyone that's not. And that's because we want to enjoy it, number one. but we can't. How can we sort of recruit for a client if we don't believe in them? Then how are we going to get the candidates that we attract to believe in them?
Yeah,
there's just a massive disconnect. So, and we've worked with people in the past who I would never work with again, and we've said yes to stuff that we shouldn't. But ultimately, I'm glad that we have done, because that's how we've got to where we are today. That's how we've got a really incredibly successful business. We've absolutely smashed it through lockdown.
Yeah, I watched you live today, and
yay!
And you were saying that you've smashed your July goals as well, so it's that's awesome.
Working really well. Yeah, it is, like 6 new clients in 2 weeks. It's insane. It's insane.
So take me back a bit, because we talk to our clients from a marketing perspective a lot about becoming brand ambassadors and content creators for their own businesses. How have you embedded that culture in your business? How do you get people to do it?
So many people ask us this, like just random people ask us this as well. Like, how have you got your team to be these cheerleaders? And I suppose it is difficult, but I genuinely love my team.
Yeah.
I actually love them. I want what's best for them. I care about them, not just 9 to 5. I can genuinely give one about them.
Yeah.
And every person who comes into this business, that's why we're very selective over who we bring in. And we've made mistakes. We've made 2 wrong hires in the last 12 months. I'm a bit of a sucker for a sob story. And I do not feel sorry, because that's a bit of a crass statement, but I have been known to kind of bring people on for the wrong reasons. So it's ultimately still got to be right for us. I can't just bring someone on who kind of pity and that kind of stuff. But yeah, the girls that we've brought, I mean, the team that we've got now are the team that we've always had. So Evie's been here pretty much since we started it. So it is 4 and a bit years, but she was the first person that we hired. We've got Jane, who's been here a couple of years, and Veronica, who's been here a year. And then we've literally got a brand new recruit who has just come in to just sort of ease herself into the madness this week before she starts next week. So like literally straight away from the off, people come in before they start, because they want to get to know us, they want to learn about us, because it's we don't class this as work. This is just a third of your life that should be well spent. We don't bring recruiters on.
Okay.
We bring people on who've no recruitment experience, because this is a job, you're not a recruiter. This is a career that we're going to kind of bring you, and we're going to watch you, we're going to observe you, we're going to look at what you're good at, and your path might change, but we will empower you, we will support you, we will give you that platform to do well. And I think that's how we embed that culture. We really give back, and we don't pay them the most in the world. We really don't, but we're not money motivated. We don't pay commission. We don't earn commission. It's how we work contracting to businesses. So we're not looking for money motivated people, but it's bringing people into this family and supporting them through everything.
Yeah.
It is a unit, and we're not backwards about coming forward. So in the interview, I'm like, right, are you going to be all right with swearing? Because I will say everything. There's nothing I won't say. I'm very, very crass. I love swearing. It's very hard for me not to swear. But so I'm so honest. We don't oversell. Like you've got dogs running around the office. You're going to get interrupted on every single meeting that you ever have. It's crazy. We're going to ask you to do mad, random things. You'll probably get put on a live on your first day. It is going to be nuts. But do you want to come on that journey with us?
Yeah.
Because you'll make a difference in this world.
Well, that's how we noticed you. So obviously I said you're taking over LinkedIn, but we were like, oh, these guys kind of, they feel like we feel, because we have a statement in our business called "You're either on the bus, and if you're not on the bus, fuck off."
Oh, were we allowed to swear on here?
I told you were allowed.
I forget.
And I remember that meeting where myself and my business partner Andy, we sat down and we said, right, we're gonna change things here. We really want to impress our personality on the business. Need to get away from this service culture of everyone expecting us to be their version of professional, and we're going to be us. And at the time, I think the staff, so 4 of the staff are in the room that day aren't here anymore, and I think that day might have something to do with it. But we literally got a presentation out. There's a big picture of a bus on the first slide. And just said, look, this is what we're about. This is what we stand for. This is where the company's going. We'll literally support you through everything if you back that vision.
And if you lose people at that point, great.
Yeah.
Wrong people for you. That's it.
Yeah. And now we've got a team full of people who, very much like your guys, are ambassadors for the business. You know, they're proud to work for us.
Epic, isn't it?
But it's brilliant.
So good.
Like on a Sunday night, like you were saying before, to to be excited to see everyone on Monday.
Yeah.
And I hope that that's the same for the team. And I think it is. I mean, they spend most of their weekend together anyway. So.
Yeah, like on your WhatsApp group. I mean, we were talking about, so we've got windows there, and we've got this, like, we're on an industrial estate. My dog's here, by the way. He just keeps nudging me. We've got like this little grassy verge, which is definitely, it's not very sexy in any way. So we're like, let's jump out the window and do a bit of sunbathing. And Veronica's not in, and she's like, are you joking? You are going to go on sunbathe on the grass? I'm like, you're off on the hottest day of the year. You can go on sunbathe anyway. But she's like, I want to come in now. I'm like, oh my God, you're an absolute plonker. Go, just enjoy your day off. But it's that kind of thing, like Evie gets FOMO when she's not in, and it's because we're all doing stuff, and there's always so much going on, and the WhatsApp group's always really lively that you do feel like you're missing out when you're not here.
Yeah.
Should feel like, because it's a big part of your life and one that you give a shit about. So why would you not be bothered if you weren't there?
Yeah. So on that basis, then, obviously, we had lockdown. There was a spell where probably everybody had to work from home.
Mm-hmm.
Did you guys go through that?
Yeah, definitely. So,
and I suspect that was not much fun for you guys, based on what you've just told me.
No, it wasn't, but I'd say it's probably the best thing for our business.
Okay.
Yeah, massive. It's been a revelation, I suppose. So really close-knit team. Obviously, work 5 days in the office. Like me and Laura look at. I quite like a day from home. But I'm a distracted person.
Okay.
I mean, I get distracted very easily. I know my flaws. So some, like, 1 day a week or 1 day every couple of weeks, I quite like working from home to just get on top of shit and just feel organised. Whereas Laura doesn't like it at all. So I knew that Laura would really struggle with lockdown. So we closed our doors. I mean, is it March?
Yeah, March, middle of March, yeah.
Yeah, and that was a really sad day. So me and Laura were weeping outside the office about how we're going to get through this, not just from a team point of view, but how we're going to do this. And because we're not positive all the time, we do, some things will break us.
Yeah.
We'll all come back, but we can't be positive all the time. We are human. So yeah, it was a really tough day. But everyone, I mean, people were taking chairs home, monitors, obviously laptops and stuff. It was awful. It cut us deep. But then we were like, okay, that's it. This is what we've got to deal with now. We're going to go and smash it, but it's in a totally different way. So we implemented like Teams, Trello, Slack. Like, obviously, we've already got Zoom and stuff like that. We implemented all these different things, more structure, more organisation. And we were like, right, how are we going to get through this? Because people aren't going to be recruited in the same way. So as a team, we decided to just shove our training arm online. We absolutely smashed it. So we did really, really well. We did LinkedIn training because we do a lot on LinkedIn, CV workshops, job hunting workshops. We did so much stuff. And it just went off. And I suppose the team then got involved with running webinars to like 40 people, which is something they've never done before, writing documentation for workshops and stuff. So using different parts of their brains and skills that they didn't think they had before. And I think what Evie said, what was quite interesting, is that obviously when we're in the office, I can just turn around and stare at you and ask you a question. And then, but here we had 3 team calls a day, so morning, lunch, and in the evening, and then we dropped the lunch one because it was just a bit too much because we all just ended up gabbing, and that was like 2 hours out of our day that we were just chatting to each other. But we kept the morning and the evening one. But Evie said it's almost like I save my questions that I really need to ask you for those calls, and then the in-between stuff, I'm a lot more independent.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of happened for the rest of the girls as well, because they were like, oh, hang on, I don't necessarily need to turn around and ask this question because I know the answer. I'm probably just looking for reassurance.
Yeah, definitely.
It's easy to get you to just wheel round and just ask. And it's that easy, isn't it? So they weren't able to do that. And Evie's never worked from home. She's not been that. She's massively social, so she'd always stay in the office, even when we've got flexibility to work from home, which Jane quite likes a day from home. So we were thinking, Evie and Laura are going to really struggle here and run it because they really like being in the office. But it worked out really well for them because they just became so much more independent and I suppose confident in their own abilities to just do really, really well.
Yeah.
And it was just insane. Like Evie was bringing clients on in lockdown. It was ace. It's a brand new salesperson.
Yeah.
So it was like everyone else is there saying like recruitment businesses are folding. Like, well, we're bringing business in, but that's because we won't stop trying.
Yeah, so we talked about this quite a bit on the podcast about how a lot of businesses got told to stop, so they did.
Yeah.
And
heard.
Yeah, exactly. Just follow the sheep, exactly that.
Why Why would you do that though? Like, surely I want to survive. I want to be here. I want to be that business that's how we're bringing 3 clients on a week at the moment. We're a tiny business, there's 6 of us, and we're bringing on 3 new pieces of work a week. We're having to recruit again in a week.
Yeah.
7 hopefully by the middle of August, because we've got too much work on now for the amount of people that we've got in the business. But that's because we didn't let this kill us. We didn't just think, oh, all right, well, we'll just let this pass us by. No, if you care about what you've got and you want to add value and do something good in this world, then you can't go down, can you?
So there's no furlough tans at Fresh then?
No. No one was furloughed. No. No, everyone was still here, and we cracked the whip at the beginning. We were like, right, you have to work in your commuting time, and because we were panicked. We were panicking. We were like, right, so you need to start work at 8:30 and work till 6:30, and we've got to keep going. And then that was when, as well, because obviously you've seen us from the videos and the content we've put out there. We've always put content out there, and you could go back to, the historic sort of archives of Fresh. There's always been content put out there. But lockdown, I said, we need to be showing up every day. We've got to be in front of everyone all the time, so that when they need recruitment or when they need support in an area that we do it in, they're going to come to us. And so everyone just nailed it, and we're putting videos out every single day. And I genuinely think that is what's been the difference for us. It's the videos.
Yeah.
That is what I've won our biggest ever client, which it's £1 billion turnover company off the back of video.
Yeah.
It's the power of it is insane. But because everyone did it, and we've all got such, like, Jane is probably my most opposite. So she's calm, she's serene, she's organised. I am none of those things, and that is fine. But so you would look at me and Jane, and you would straight away think, God, maybe I don't like Jane or I don't like Kelly, but I like the other. And that's basically you got 5 flavours linked in of our different personalities, and within that, hopefully you'd like one. And
but you're all operating from the same values.
Yes.
Yeah. And on that note,
Friday the 21st.
Hey, it's Georgia at Codebreak. Thanks for listening to the Stay Hungry podcast. If you're hungry for more, don't forget to check out all the free marketing content on codebreak.co.uk.
I just thought I'd give you a breather. So.
Fancy adverts. You still fancy it? We're doing our podcast at the moment. We don't have adverts.
You need to get some adverts in. Plug yourselves.
How do you get some adverts? How do you do that?
We've got like a podcasting audio board with all of our ads programmed in. So.
You do look more fancy than me, though. You look like you know what you're doing.
This is episode 91. So.
Okay, I'm on 9 and it's missing 7. So really, I'm on 8.
What are you recording with?
What do you mean, like an actual microphone, or?
Yeah, like, is it plugged into a phone? Plugged into computers?
No. So it's plugged into the computer. So it's not the Blue Yeti. I think it's a replica of the Blue Yeti. I haven't got it on me right now.
Okay.
But it's pretty decent, to be fair. And then I just record it into my laptop through Audacity.
Yeah, that's what we use. See, same.
It's sweet. And then we've got our little jingle and stuff. So our VA, who is over in Sweden, she sort of chopped up the music, and so it sounds really good. Like, it's a nice little sandwich now, so it's looking really good. Have you seen the imagery that we've got for our podcast?
No.
Still a secret. We've been made into caricatures.
Okay.
Oh my God, I'm so excited to put this out. But it was so funny. The first guy who tried to do our caricatures made us look like the guys that are White Chicks.
Right. Okay.
I will show you the before and after, because it's absolutely hilarious. I mean, he thought he'd offended me, which he hadn't, but I was like, I don't really want to look like a man. I just don't. I mean, I'm still happy.
Why not? What's wrong with that?
I just don't. Nothing wrong with it. It's just not the brief. That's just not what I am.
I'd like a caricature that represents me, but a bit exaggerated.
That's exactly what I said. I was like, I don't want it sexualized, because I am very much against using that to get ahead.
So I've got this is going to sound ropey now, but I've got an admission for you about something that's happened. So our team is mostly female. So the two directors are male. Fergus in our team, who's like our tech guy, and then the rest of the team is women. I don't want to blow smoke up your ass, but you
can do it if you want.
We're always looking for people on LinkedIn and across social media that our team can aspire to for their own profiles. And some of the things that we come across, maybe people start out with the right intentions, but it becomes like hypersexualized, or men and women who basically have twigged that they're relatively good looking and use it to their advantage.
Right.
And so the one girl in our team was like, you keep suggesting people for me to follow, and then like 5 or 6 posts down the line, they've just got their boobs out, and it's completely like what are you asking me to do here? And I was like, not that.
No.
Not that. And then I said to Georgia in our team, and she'll be laughing listening to this, I said, like, follow Emily. Emily is doing it all right. She's like positive. She's getting the message across. She's got her values nailed, and she's not like taking advantage of all the mugs on LinkedIn.
No way. And we get such, honestly, you will laugh your tits off at the messages that we get. It's so funny. Like, none of us are sexualized on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
It's not something that we do. Like, we're really, I'm a feminist. I believe in equality, and I do not believe in using sex and that kind of stuff and putting yourself out there as desirable so that you get business. Like, absolutely not, because that will tarnish our brand so much. And so no. And obviously you can have a laugh with certain people and stuff like that and a bit of banter, but the stuff that we put out there, the brand,
of course, values aligned, exactly.
But the amount of stuff that we get through. I put a picture up of me taking a picture of one of the girls, and it was like a welcome to the team post, and I was like in a planking position on the table, with my arms out with a camera, and James took it from
no.
me. I'm not even, it's hilarious. And I think it was Jane or Evie who took the picture, but from behind me, and I put it up saying, welcome to the team, Rachel. And I've not thought that it's a shot of almost looking upwards from the back of me. And I've got gym leggings on and a hoodie. And oh my God, every scaffolder, they were all scaffolders. I didn't even, like, literally.
The scaffolders on LinkedIn? Is that?
Well, I tell you what.
You find them. You find them. Right.
Yeah, they found me. There were so many scaffolders that just found me and wrote some disgusting stuff.
So, like, the wolf whistle's gone digital now. That's what you're telling me.
I mean, this is not a wolf whistle. They were telling me what they wanted to do to me. It was absolutely disgusting. Because I can take banter and stuff like that. You can give me grief and I will take it. I'm not soft in that sense, but this was just creepy. And it turns out our VH, she's much more than a virtual assistant. She's like a social media ninja. She's a wizard. And so she looks at the sort of back end of everything. So she protects us at all times.
Yeah.
So we've been the victim of a few dodgy bots and a few crimes and stuff like that has to do with obviously trying to, I suppose, impact us online.
Yeah, of course.
And she's been the person who protects it. And you do get that because obviously we are so out there, so visible that people don't like that, and then they try and mess it up for you. But I didn't realise that she actually removes comments on our stuff, on everyone's files, which we didn't even know. I'm not, these lot will be listening now thinking, why have you not told me this? Because I forgot. But she's actually removing stuff every day that gets put on our posts by usually men. It's always men, but
You're trying to be polite. Yeah, no, that's fair.
Saying awful stuff, and this is what we don't even know.
Yeah.
And we don't put any, I mean, I get that someone could have took that in the wrong way, and I understand that. And that's the only post that's ever been up that I probably would have said, okay, fair enough. I just didn't think, because it was just a welcome to the team post. But
you shouldn't have to feel like that.
No, I know.
That's the reality. So, like, I'm hyper protective of our team too much, because I don't. That's not what they're about. I want them to be rewarded for their talent, and they're really good guys. It's a tough place to work.
It's amazing that you're like that. Yeah, because it is, and it's annoying that you do get. Like, some person has said, you only get loads of likes on your videos because you're attractive and stuff, and you think
bullshit. Yeah,
why
bullshit.
Are you doing that? Why? You're just trying to put me down there. That's what you're doing, and that's fine. That says more about you than it does about me. But it's just, people will be like that, and then so we do get quite a bit of grief because people will say, do you only hire attractive people into your business? It's like, oh my God, no, why would we do that? But we do get a little bit of stick for stuff like that. And it's all relative.
But all of that stick will be from businesses that aren't willing to put the effort in to generate their own content. If they saw that you're spending 3-4 hours a day on content generation, they wouldn't understand how you're finding the time to do that.
Yeah.
And that was one of my questions, is how are you finding the time to do that? So because we obviously beg our clients to generate as much content as they possibly can.
Yeah.
And they're so stuck in what they perceive as their day job that they can't, where you feel you look like you found a happy balance between what is content generation, but it's also sales, really. It's
Of course it is. Yeah. I think, so lockdown probably enabled us to do it on steads, which is where it is now, isn't it? And then it is just a part and parcel of everyone's day, I suppose, now. Because I think Jane and Ronnie don't do as much of the video stuff anymore. They were doing it at the beginning of lockdown because they were like, you need to do it every single day, like get out there, like put stuff out, be visible, show people who you are and your personalities and all that kind of stuff. They don't do as much of it now, but I mean, they've got a ridiculous amount of roles on between. I'm looking at the board now and saying this, they are spinning a lot of plates at the moment. And that's why we brought, obviously, a new person in and hopefully another one. Whereas Evie is sales, so it's massively important that she's out there putting content out there every day. So that's part and parcel of her role. But we do get help with scheduling, but everything is organic. So it's not on a scheduling tool or anything like that. But we create all our content and then we fire it over to our VA a lot of the time with the captions. So we'll block out time to do it. So I record videos every week. I'm going to have to move it now because I like recording my videos from home. I prefer it from home because I'm not as distracted and stuff like that. And I prefer the lighting because I can actually sit in front of the window and it's equal natural lighting on my face. I don't like I've got one side of it in the dark. So I will be doing that on a Thursday now. So I record videos every Thursday and it's in my calendar. So it's blocked out and I've got a list there of content.
Yeah.
So it's stuff that randomly comes into my head. Like, for example, we're really annoyed at candidates at the moment because they just expect us to find them a job, even though we're not an agency. And even if we were an agency, we can't just pull jobs out of our arse that are suitable for you. They become so entitled that, well, you're an agent, you're a recruitment company, so that you obviously have to find me a job. No, we're not. We're not miracle workers. You are in charge of your own destiny. We might be able to help you, but ultimately.
Yeah.
So that just
give us something to work with, sort of thing.
Yeah, but that's content. So I did a video on that. So, but any bit of content that comes in my head, it goes into my phone. And that's the same with everyone. They all do it. And then we used to do tip series. So I could give you video content now and it's like 101, like a list of different things that we've done. And they were tips. So we'd all record a different one. And this is back in the day when the videos weren't as good. And it would be a recruitment tip and we'd use a little auto cue and stuff. Yeah. And that was to make sure that we got all the content out there. So we've always done it, but now it's just recycled. And I suppose because we've done it for so long, it is just part and parcel. But when we talk to our clients, we talk to them about branding and getting out there. And I suppose we have the same struggles, but we do it from a different perspective to you. So we do it. So when people create websites and stuff like that, a lot of the time it's for their clients, isn't it?
Yeah, sure.
Things get businesses. Sell their product service, of course it is. But ultimately, a lot of these companies forget that they need to market themselves to candidates as well and talent and be proactive. So we come at it from that angle. It's like, when a candidate on your website, social media, Glassdoor, your Indeed, whatever it is, can they picture themselves working there? If the answer is no, then you are making your life so much harder.
Yeah.
Because you could probably recruit your own if you had a decent presence online. So we talk about your brand and candidates even have a brand. Like you have an individual brand, but obviously if you're a part of an organisation, you're part of their wider brand. So we do chat on a lot to our clients about that sort of stuff. Yeah. And we do work with them about that kind of thing as well. But it is tough. I think it is a set in your ways thing and fear. I think it's fear of video, isn't it? Fear of speaking out online and I don't know, owning it, I think. It's just...
Yeah, I even for myself, so we record every week. We do 2 podcasts a week. We do videos. And I think for the first year of me doing it, I was scared to put my head above the parapet and say, well, this is what I think. I would do like a dumbed down version of what I think. So like, well, this is the professional version of what I think. And then
absolutely. And
then one day a guy that I work quite closely with just sort of gave my head a wobble and was like, you don't sound like you on the videos. And I said, well, what do you mean? He said,
this is me.
I know what you say in the pub and I know what you say on those videos. I was like, well, I'm being professional, aren't I? And he said, no bollocks. You need to get on there and say it with the passion that you feel it with, not just try and do the professional, glossy, And that's made it so much easier since he said that to me.
But you can be authentic. Being authentic is the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, absolutely. But you try and tell people that. Yeah.
But a lot of the time, it's that they're not necessarily comfortable in their own skins, and they feel like they've got to have this mask on, and they've got to put out there, because if they do leave themselves vulnerable and open to, rejection or ridicule, stuff, that's going to hurt even more if they were themselves. Which I do get it.
Yeah, we said to our guys, we said, not everyone's going to like what you do, and you'll be more successful because of that. And then they calm down, they settle then, and they're like, so you mean if people are criticising me, that's a good thing? I was like, yes, absolutely, because it means that there's at least that many people out there that like what you did, and it's that whole, if you try and please everyone all the time, you'll get nowhere type thing.
Yeah, definitely. I do think that's what we used to do, and we're quite. I mean, me and Laura, we're not afraid of conflict at all. We like an argument, we like a fight. Yeah. We're not bothered. But that doesn't mean that our girls are like that. But we do teach them to be assertive. We talk about being assertive probably every day. And we were kind of, when we're dealing with clients, the clients are used to just giving recruiters shit. Do this, do that. This isn't good enough. That's not good enough.
Yeah.
You do not speak to us like that. We will not accept it. Absolutely not. You speak to us with respect. And if you don't, then we will tell you that you're not. And I'm not saying it's always been like that, but we have had clients. I mean, we had a client at a financial services organisation in Chorley. They called us dizzy and fuzzy and fluffy, and oh God, what
fluffy is that most hated word here.
It's just horrendous. I was like, just shut up. So you would go into their office and you'd open a packet of crisps, and by the way, there's probably like 50 people in their office, and it would be loud. And I think if you think we're dizzy and fluffy and just girly girls, then that is fine, but we're actually not any of those things. It's just that you were just so far up your own arse.
Yeah, you're old-fashioned.
Environment. Yeah, and we shouldn't be working with you, and that is our bad for accepting this in the first place.
When did you hit that point? When did you hit that point where you decided, right, enough is enough? There's lots of businesses out there that we're just never going to be right for, and also, if someone's rude to one of our team, I'm going to call them out on it.
It's that.
So when did you have that realization?
So I think it's a bit like you can give shit to me, but the minute you give shit to my sister.
Yeah, exactly.
But because these are our family members, and they genuinely are, and we love them, like I said, and they're part of our little group. And so when you start giving them shit, that's when me and Laura are like, we're like the bears.
Yeah.
And we are going to hurt you. No, we don't. We will hurt you through the keyboard.
But has it always been that way, or did you have a day at some point in your journey? I hate the word journey, but sorry. Where you went, I'm not having this anymore. Like, our business vision is not to put up with this shit anymore.
Yeah, I think we have always been like that, 100%, because we're massively protective, like you are. So we've always been like that, and we've always stepped in. But I suppose it was being all right when things don't go to plan. When things, so for example, we lost our biggest retainer. So we had a retainer, and this was like a $7,000 a month retainer coming in. That is nice, really, really nice. So that would make you feel like every month you start with $7,000. That's a great place.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And this was a couple of years ago now. And then that the person at the top, the founder, brought in another person, and he was a dick. He was called Richard as well, and he was an absolute arsehole. And he came in and he just changed everything. And obviously we weren't necessarily aligned with him, and he was just a chauvinist, and just, none of us liked him. We're like, how can we go and get candidates and generate interest to come into this business? Whereas about 100 people in this business is decent size. It's just not going to work anymore. And but trying to walk away from that $7,000 a month was tough.
Yeah, of course.
It just didn't work. And I suppose we were fine after that. So we're like, we're not starting from scratch. We know that we can do this. We know that we can get back on. And I think after that, maybe something did shift, and it's like, hang on, what are we doing? Why are we bringing on clients who are just idiots and horrible to our staff? Why are we doing this? Why are we and a lot of the time we're thinking, we're miserable. I don't want to work on these roles anymore. The girls were just like, it's awful. Like, we don't want to answer the phone to clients. And it was just like, you know what, enough's enough. And I think probably the last year, really, we were just like, we're not taking this shit anymore. We're not rolling over. We're not being soft anymore. We're going to stand up. The amount of people who've tried to not pay us, and I think they just think we're a group of women who will just just kind of fade
Go away, yeah.
No, we will not. Like, Laura is the most tenacious person, and if you've not paid us for a service that we've provided, she will take it to court on her own.
Yeah, awesome.
She will stand on her own. I mean, I'd just be like, I don't really know what to say in this situation. But yeah, like, and we just won't take any shit anymore. But I don't know what the pivotal moment was, I suppose, because we've always been really protective. But I think it was knowing that we are all right on our own, and we can look after ourselves, and we will always do what's necessary to get by and to keep our staff. And yeah, I think just wanting to enjoy it more, wanting to be authentic.
Yeah.
That we don't need to work with everyone. Not everyone has to like you. And I think the good thing about video is that when I put a video out, I'm so expressive, I'm so myself. Like you will see me now is the exact same person you see on a video. I get distracted. Lenny will walk in, I'll look at my hair and think it looks messy. And I'm that person.
Yeah.
If you think, geez, an absolute tit, that's great. Don't contact me.
Yeah. No, that's awesome.
Don't ever ring me.
That's awesome. I mean, we send out rules of engagement to new clients, and
brilliant.
Rule number 10 is don't be a dick. And you guarantee every time that, like, rule number 10, what does that mean? It's like, well, you know what it means. It's like, yeah.
But it's good to swear, though. Do you not think? So Laura doesn't like me swearing on our business social media.
Okay.
So we're on the fresh pages, and I agree. I understand it, because obviously not everyone's going to want us to swear, and I don't say the word. Can I say CUNT on here?
Well, you can.
A bit much. I mean, I won't say. I mean, it's my favourite word ever. My favourite word, but I won't say it.
More than goose.
Yeah. Is that your favourite word?
No, I just couldn't think of anything.
Yeah, it wins hands down. So I'm not saying I say stuff like that. I don't. That is because I understand that offends some people. I get upset that it does, and it offends women more so because it's been used directly to attack them.
Of course.
But actually, the roots of that word are really empowering. So I absolutely love it. Like, it's a majorly feminist word. So for me, I love bouncing it around. And I wouldn't use that on the business pages, but I do get it. But part of me, I will always use it on my personal stuff, because I think, if you don't like me swearing, you probably don't want to work with you anyway, because I should be able to swear. I should be able to say bloody and bugger and piece and stuff like that. I should be able to say that, because they're just ways to express ourselves, aren't they? But I get that not everyone's going to be like that.
Yeah.
So, but isn't it? No, you don't want to put people off by swearing. I don't know. It's a tough subject. It is.
See, both myself and Andy, my business partner, we swear quite a lot, and we never swore in front of clients for 8 years. And then when we had
How hard is it though?
Oh, when we had the on the bus meeting, it was literally, because we said it's on the bus or fuck off. And then it was like, actually, like, we need to kind of practice what we preach. And I'm not saying that swearing helps, but if somebody thinks I can't do my job properly because I swear, they're not going to be able to cope with how intense we are as a marketing agency. You know, sometimes we have to come in, like, so, you know, we have to tell people bad news sometimes. Oh, your website's crap, we're going to have to redo this. And if I can't express it quickly, we're wasting our time. So, this is shit. It's just like,
so much easier if you can do that, isn't it? So that is a really, really good way of putting it. I do. It separates that kind of wheat from the chaff, doesn't it? And it's just, you can just get into the nitty gritty, because what is the point in beating around the bush? Like, I like things precise. If you send me an essay, I will most likely read the top line and the bottom line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can someone else please look at this for me? I hate long.
I think what they meant was they're cancelling, but they sent me a 3-page email to explain. And it's like, I don't care. Sort of.
Those people on LinkedIn who send you an invite, you accept, and then they just send you this long message selling
mortgages.
Oh, it's so drab, isn't it? I actually, an accountant messaged me. He looked like he owned his own business, and he was talking about getting new leads and stuff, and if I knew anyone. So I wrote back and I was like, I'm going to give you some feedback now. I know you're not asking for it, but because it's private and stuff, I feel like I'm all right to give it you. It's on a DM or whatnot. And I said, it doesn't work when you sell off your first message, ever.
No.
Literally ever. You won't pick up any leads off it. And they went, I don't want leads. I'm like, all right, are you a child? Because you just messaged me about leads. And then I told you, I said, as a person who's done a lot of research into LinkedIn, and I've done a lot of stuff that hasn't worked, but I've done a lot of stuff that does work.
Yeah.
And I going in like that, saying, "Oh, I'm the big guy, I didn't do that," or I want to try and help you because I can see that you're clearly trying to get work on in COVID. And he just replied saying that, and I thought, "Oh, you're a weapon. Go get your leads."
On that note.
Hi, Emily at Codebreak. I just wanted to check if you've booked your discovery call with Andy or Joel yet. It's a free 20-minute chat to talk about your goals and how we can help you achieve them. Visit codebreak.co.uk to book.
Speaking of leads. So.
Oh, you lovely little... I love your adverts.
You're writing that down, aren't you? We need adverts for our podcast. I can see it.
It's exactly what I'm writing down right now. Fresh adverts. Laura, have you got that? We need to do adverts on our podcast. Yeah, she's got it. Thank you.
All good. So, I guess, what's the future for Fresh then? You haven't asked me a single marketing question. Do you remember when I briefed you before this podcast and said, ask me something about marketing?
Well, this hasn't all been about me.
No, we've gone deep. We've gone deep on LinkedIn. Yeah. I was just thinking in the back of my mind, the description for this is going to be a long one. We've talked feminism. We've talked LinkedIn. We've talked dickheads on LinkedIn.
Yeah. Joel, how do you write your descriptions? Because this is something I've got to do, and I've moved it in my calendar every day for 2 weeks now.
Your profile description or the little tagline under your name? Which one? Or description for the podcast?
Yes, I need to do the overall description of the podcast to say like what the hell it's about, and then obviously each individual
episode. So our series is called the same thing all the way through. So it's called Stay Hungry.
Yeah.
Never changes. And then each episode has a title. So, like,
is that all you do? Just give it a title.
So like today will probably be like a deep dive of Emily on LinkedIn or something like that. And then the description will be special guest Emily from Fresh Perspective joins Joel on the Stay Hungry podcast to talk LinkedIn, feminism, and the dickheads that haunt your DMs or something like that. And
lovely! I love that. The dickheads that haunt your DMs. That is great. Really like that. Very, very good. I don't know, but do you not need to kind of do stuff for SEO? Like, do I not need to go through and put hashtags all over it? Because when you go on Spotify, so for example, if I was looking at Spotify now, they've got loads of crap on there, haven't they, about, it'll say like hashtag this or hashtag that, or it'll have loads of little keywords underneath it. Do you need that to be searchable as a new podcast person?
I don't think so. So we just fit. Which publishing platform do you say you use? Audacity? And you publish to Spotify, Apple Music, and wherever else from there. Yeah. I just make sure you fill out all the boxes on there in a certain level of detail, but also it's got to sound like you. And then just keep with it. And as long as you're driving traffic to that podcast, you know, if you search "Stay Hungry" on Spotify now, we come up in like the first 2 results on the podcast section or whatever. So
I'm gonna follow you right now.
You're gonna test that. You could be one of our Spotify subscribers.
Let me look. I'm doing it. I mean, we're not out there yet. We're not here.
So you've recorded 9 but not put any out?
No, because I wanted to. I'm a binger.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what? It's just showing me. I need to see it in podcasts and not in. I'm looking at see it in all podcasts. Stay Hungry Marketing Podcast.
That's the one.
Follow. You got a new follower.
Awesome.
How exciting is that? But yeah, no, I wanted to. Apparently, I don't know. I don't really answer this question.
It sounds like you're doing it right. Just write some decent descriptions, plug it in your LinkedIn, get it everywhere, and then get your Swedish marketing wizard to stick it everywhere else as well. And
she is a Swedish marketing wizard. You're right. Do you want me to ask you a marketing question?
Yeah, do it. Why not?
So if someone didn't have a budget to use a marketing organisation like yourselves, what do you think is the most important thing that they can be doing right now to market themselves to their target audience?
So we're assuming they've got no budget whatsoever. So they're starting.
Well, no, they can just no budget to do marketing.
So you mentioned video before. I think video is really important, really important. And if you're an organisation, you're not doing video now, you should have been doing it 2 years ago. Let alone you've missed the boat. I mean, it's not too late to start, but
you need to regret your decisions.
Yeah, you could be so far ahead of where you are. So,
you need to feel shit for what you've not done.
Yeah. have a word with yourself and consider whether this is the path for you.
Just go and get a real job and just sack your business off because you're failing.
No, I think videos.
What kind of advice you give your clients? Is that the stern talking?
I've sat in front of some clients and said your business isn't viable.
Oh my God, really?
Because I said you haven't got enough money to generate the interest to sell the amount of stuff that you want to sell.
I think I'd headbutt you.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. But you've either got to sacrifice time or money, haven't you? So either on a Monday record 10 videos and get those into your funnel, or pay someone else to generate that content for you, or do both. But if you're not willing to make that sacrifice, don't then speak to me and say, oh, well, I know I've got a good product, but no one's buying it. Well, I can't help you. And then I think as well, and you'll back me on this, LinkedIn at the moment is like Facebook was 6 or 7 years ago. It's like the Wild West. You can kind of reach so many people so quickly. And that's B2B, B2C, whatever you're doing now. LinkedIn should be a really powerful tool for most businesses.
I love LinkedIn. I'm not a massive fan of the other social media platforms. I don't really like them. I struggle with mental health, and I'm one of the first people that will say, like, as an anxious person, struggling with depression and stuff like that in the past, and I can be quite up and down. I'm an emotional person, very. Yeah. What you see is what you get, and you pretty much know I'm feeling by just taking one look at me. And so the likes of Instagram and stuff, where you're looking at everyone having a really happy life and you're feeling that utter shit, and they're all these thin, brown, attractive people, and you think, oh, heck off. I don't want to see that. So I tried to distance myself, but also from all the dodgy news. So literally, I know nothing that's going on in the world right now. I didn't even know about the Black Lives Matter protesting thing that happened, which I know is ridiculous. And you might call me ignorant, but I made the decision at the beginning of lockdown to be an ostrich. Yeah. But I can't look at it. Obviously, I'll listen to the updates and stuff because they'll affect the business and I need to know what the hell's going on and stuff. But ultimately, I've got to do that. And it's probably been the best thing for me. I don't really see any shit. And so I could go onto Facebook and Instagram now and I barely see any crap, because I've not engaged with it. So long. Yeah. And LinkedIn's the same. Like, I don't really see any shit on LinkedIn now. Like, obviously, you've got your trolls and stuff who they just love to, but I feel like you've made it when you get trolls. Yeah,
yeah. If you're pissing someone off or somebody's sliding into your DMs inappropriately, you're probably doing something right.
I know. It was so good. This guy wrote on my post, said that you're blabbing and you keep playing with your hair and I don't even know what you do as a business. I was like, well, this post was actually me telling you.
I saw that comment. I saw that was quite recently.
What a dick. Yeah, what a dick. And did you see his picture that said open to work?
Yeah.
I was like, good luck finding a job, you absolute knob.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I thought, no, I must have made it for him to contact me and say that. That's what I'm saying. But LinkedIn feels different to me. Not professional, because it doesn't feel professional in any way, shape or form. But I just love it. I love its power. I love all about the algorithms and the rules. And for me, LinkedIn's a game. And I love playing it.
Yeah. Well,
if you know how to play it, you're going to be rewarded.
Oh, same as business. Same as business. That's it. I think that's a lot of very successful business owners, I think, treat business with a game mentality, where they look at it and they're like, right, I'm winning. Or they're one of those people that if they're told they're losing, won't give up until they've won.
And that's exactly what I'm like. Yeah, I'm terrible. I'm so competitive. It's awful. We went out for a team building day at the Anderson Centre, which is a lovely like sort of activity centre near us, and we love getting outside, getting dirty or getting in the water, and we did a bit of archery, and I just lose my head. I just lose my head. So I was on the losing team and I was like, God, honestly, it's horrendous taking me somewhere like that.
Yeah, we before lockdown we went bowling with a client.
Oh right.
Stupid idea. Really, really bad idea.
You can't do any activities like that with clients, can you? You're competitive yourself. You just come out of it like, oh, I've been a dick.
Yeah. Like, let them win, Joel. Just let them win.
No, never. Yeah. You can't do that. Because that is, you're not being authentic then.
I can't play board games at home because
really,
it's not worth it. No one wants to play board games with me.
Do you have kids?
No kids, just the wife, and
is that why?
she won't play Because if I lose, we'd have to play again. And
This is so funny. So do you not play cards or anything?
not really. But I think on honeymoon we had a 13-hour flight where we just ignored each other for 13 hours.
No, I've got to play games. I love dominoes and cards and anything
I bet
like
you don't
that.
if you lose.
No, I do. I can handle it. I just get mouthy. But I like getting mouthy. I like getting aggressive. So when I lose, I've just got a perfect opportunity
An
to behave.
excuse. You can't do that on a plane on the way to your honeymoon.
No, but you could
Kick
nip
off.
them. You could just like prod them and stare at them. You can't.
No. Don't get me wrong. If it's a rainy Sunday, I might behave myself and play nice. But it's not worth it. I'm not enjoying myself. If I'm not winning,
No, and it doesn't sound like other people are enjoying themselves.
No,
I think you're than me.
I'm not. I'm a very competitive person. Yeah, it's not.
Well, that's why you've got a successful business though, and a successful podcast, and
It's getting there. We've
yeah.
had some crazy guests. I'm not sure anymore. It might be.
really,
I'm joking. I meant you.
you were not talking about me.
So
Am I
what?
classed as a crazy guest?
Well, what have we had recently? We had one of the guys who headed up one of the teams developing the Grand Theft Auto series,
Oh, mint.
and they just literally worked all night for like 8 months. It was just sounded like hell on earth. So, and he's dead against that now. He's learned his lesson from that. But just
Yeah.
no, we've had some cool guests. But
Do you ever get a guest on and then regret that you've got them on?
no. Why do you want to be the first one?
No, I don't. But do you know what I mean? Like you've got someone to come on and then it wasn't like how you expected it to go.
We've had a few
Usually
people.
never-
We've had a few. Yeah, we've had a few people that have been quite shy.
Right, okay.
But then when once you get into it and you start asking them questions and start asking about their expertise and their passions, even the most shy people come out of their shell, I think. And we never used to record the video, so that made it easier. Where now we link up the video and the audio, and it all goes out on YouTube and everywhere else. So it's
Oh, are you putting this out on YouTube?
yeah, you're going to be like even more famous.
Oh my goodness, I wish I'd prepared more. I would have like put more makeup on and stuff.
I think that goes against what you were saying before.
I know, but I do like making up. I do like dressing up and stuff. I don't mean to look good, I mean to feel good. There is a difference.
Yeah. So like we wear merch. This is like my body armor. Yeah, it's
Very
like
sweaty though. We went for a very fast walk before. Because Laura was like, I need to be back at 1:00, and it was 20 to 1. And I was doing a little loop with her because we were speaking to someone. I said, let's go on a walking meeting instead. I was like, it's a really, really nice day, and I'll take Lenny and the dog.
yep.
And I thought, I was like, this loop's 20 minutes. And I didn't know that the loop was 20 minutes. And I was like, so we're going to have to get a real. I came back, my legs were red because we walked. So just before this, and I was like, oh, I'm really hot now. And then I had to do my lives, and the office is quite hot, and it's my day to go live across the platforms. And LinkedIn Live, obviously, you saw it, so that makes me red anyway when I'm doing that. And so by the time I got to this point, I'm very clammy. I have to admit, it's
Good to
very,
know.
very situation. Right.
So you've been really generous with your time, so thank you for that.
Well, you're more than welcome.
If you were to say one tip for marketing to other businesses, what would that be?
Yeah. I think working out who the hell you want to be. Who do you want to be online? Who are you? And if you don't know who you are, then you can't put stuff out there.
Yeah.
But who are you as a person? What do you believe in? What drives you? What gets you out of bed in the morning? What do you give a shit about? Because when you figured out all that stuff, I know that about myself. I know who I am.
Yeah.
I'm
So
very
where's that come from?
self-aware.
Where's that come from? So tell me if I'm being too personal, but you said you've had issues of anxiety and depression. I've had issues of anxiety and depression, so that really clicked with me when you said that. And that whole being comfortable in your own skin, that day you realise who you are and start to project that and feel confident with it is a very, very liberating thing.
Absolutely, yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
So where did that come from for you?
I think my liberation started this year.
Okay.
She's pretty late. I don't actually know if I'm 32 or 33.
You don't know?
32.
Yeah.
Got my backing singers just letting me know. But I think I don't like research, but I love learning.
Yeah.
So I constantly listen to audiobook. Like I must have 5 books on the go at one point, which is too much.
Okay.
And then I've got an actual real book, and then I use a book for trips. So I do like the training with a team, and it's not just on recruitment training. We do self-worth, resilience, rejection, feedback. We do training on all sorts of different things. So I've got a lot of things on the go, and I love learning about new stuff. And I suppose I've been in counselling probably since I was 16 on and off. So all different kinds of therapists, psychiatrists, the NHS counsellors, whatever it is, I've most likely done it. And that's cool. And I'm not afraid to kind of talk about stuff like that, because I think it's really important. I love having a sounding board. I love being able to have someone or something that I can sound off to, and it almost makes me feel lighter and feel like I can carry on with whatever I'm doing.
Yeah.
But then I started to learn about the ego, and this is what's been the game changer for me. So most of our decisions are made with the ego. And when you start to learn that it's your ego making these decisions, and it's not actually your spirit and who you are as an actual genuine person, that is insane.
Have you read The Chimp Paradox?
Yeah, I tried to listen to the Chimp Paradox, and that was not good, because he just sounds like he couldn't.
It's a monotone listen. Yeah.
He's tremendous. He's like, please listen to my book because it's great. No one's going to listen to that. So stop listening to that after about 5 hours, because he's awful to listen to. He needs to get a narrator on his book, because I think it is the guy who's actually wrote it who narrates it. He needs to just get someone.
Is it Dr. Steve Peters? That's the chap.
Yeah. But no, it's the Eckhart Tolle books, really. So they're pretty tough audio books, but probably easy to listen to. A little bit, they almost sound quite suggestive, which is weird. He's got a couple of other people on The Power of Now, and they're a bit like, hey, Eckhart, can I ask you a question? And it's so creepy.
Is it bad that I've got The Power of Now on my bedside table?
Oh, the book is ridiculous.
Because if you're having a bad day and you need a little reset, just read a couple of pages of that.
Oh, yeah. And the A New Earth. Have you listened to A New Earth?
No, don't know that one.
That's another one by Eckhart Tolle. Again, probably. So some guy messaged me about Jimmy, because I'd put a picture on LinkedIn about The Power Now, and he said, listen to this because I feel like it's easy to understand.
Yeah.
Because The Power Now is quite big, isn't it? It's like there's nothing else other than now. Like whatever happened before or what's in the future doesn't exist.
Yeah.
All is now.
Yeah, which is about focusing on the present. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, being present. Yeah, so your ego is not here. It's not here today, right now. So being anxious is in the future, which is it's not happened yet. Being depressed is in the past. And I don't really resonate with that. I'm like, yeah, it is. When you look at the past, like we were saying before, if you're not doing video, then you seriously need to regret all your decisions for the last 2 years. That's been in the past, isn't it?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Looking back, and you can't change anything. You can't do anything with the past, but you also can't do anything in the future, because that isn't here yet. Literally all we have is now. And I think when you start to strip that back, when you start thinking, why am I thinking about everything that's not happened to me yet? I'm just going to start doing some breathing. And I really catch myself. So I do quite a bit of running. And when I run, I think about everything.
Yeah.
So some days when you're particularly tough, I thought, I can't go for a run because I can't not think.
Yeah.
And I don't want to allow myself in that right now because I'm trying to work on myself. So running was a really tough thing for me to do when I felt really sad or really upset or what it was. But now I've learned to breathe when I'm running, and I do the sort of the senses thing. So I'm like, what can I hear? What can I feel? What can I see? What can I smell? Like those kind of things. And they're really grounding. But I think I don't know what it was, but I started seeing a new psychiatrist in November of last year. I had a bit of a breakdown in November and lost my head entirely. I mean, I think I was on all fours at one point in my mum's house, just screaming like a cow. Literally, I had a full-on breakdown, which was great. Something just changed in me, and started being a lot more present. Started thinking about what the decisions that my ego is making, and that I am not my ego.
Yeah.
I am much more than that, and that's probably what. So I was behind the scenes at Fresh probably until this year.
Okay.
But you wouldn't have known about me last year up until this year. But I've been here, I wasn't forward facing in the slightest, not in the slightest, and I think it's no coincidence that since learning about all this stuff, I've really got out of my own way, and now I'm extremely forward.
Yeah, sure.
You can't go on LinkedIn without seeing me and the hair, and which is good. But yeah, it's definitely been a journey. But I would recommend anyone to start doing some research into their ego. If you are someone who struggles with mental health, learn about your ego, because knowledge is power. It really is. When you start learning about all that stuff, you are going to be blown away by it.
I think that's an important thing for business owners as well, that you have to remember that you're in control of your thoughts, and that just because you've thought something doesn't mean it's true.
Yeah.
And that, when you say that to someone who, chances are they're a bit of a control freak if they're a business owner, they're probably competitive, and you say to them, do you know that half of the stuff that you think is bollocks? That's a bit of a shock, but it is. But it's really, really important point. We went deep there for our top marketing tip.
We did, but it's true though, isn't it? Well, I suppose let's bring it back to that. It's about figuring out who you are, what you're bothered about, and then once you've done all that, then that's your brand, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's who you're going to put out there. Then start putting that stuff out there, and then you will start attracting things that are attracted to that brand that you are putting out there.
Yeah.
Enjoy the people that, if that's even suppliers. So we don't even work with suppliers who are aligned with us. We're not going to outsource to you if you're not aligned with us. It's not just our players.
Yeah, of course.
It's every single thing, because they've got to be on our journey. It doesn't matter what capacity it is. You've got to be on our journey to want to be a part of us, because we're full on, and you'll really hate it if you're not. You don't like it.
That's awesome.
Like it at all.
Right. Thank you so much for your time. That's been really good.
You're more than welcome. I'm sorry I've not asked you more marketing questions, but you've talked a lot as well.
Well, you can be the judge of that when you hear this back on Monday.
Well, don't. Maybe 70-30. Is it maybe?